Good morning, I'm Craig Negrelli. It's Monday, June 9th, 2025, and these are your unbiased updates. Tear gas in the streets, self-driving cars in flames, and a face-off between the president and the governor over who's calling the shots right now in California. Plus, a boat headed for Gaza stopped cold. Israel calls it a PR stunt. Activists say it was a lifeline. Among those detained, Greta Thunberg. And big players, big stakes. Trade talks with China are back on, with tariffs, rare earths, and global supply chains hanging in the balance. The stories that matter, clear and credible, from across the country to around the world. These are your unbiased updates from Straight Arrow News. Protests that started in Los Angeles have now spread across the state and turned violent. This morning, dozens of people are under arrest, and the entire city is now an unlawful assembly area. Highways are shut down. The National Guard is now on the ground. It all started Friday when ICE agents detained dozens of undocumented immigrants in Los Angeles, sparking outrage and protests that grew throughout the weekend. By Sunday, President Trump had ordered 2,000 National Guard troops to California and put 500 Marines on standby, a move Governor Gavin Newsom blasted as a political stunt to, quote, manufacture chaos and violence. He posted on X, Trump succeeded. And just a few hours ago, Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, arrest the people in face masks now. And looking really bad in L.A., bring in the troops. Don't let these thugs get away with this. Protests continued overnight with about 300 National Guard troops rolling into L.A. Demonstrators blocked the 101 freeway, torched self-driving cars, and clashed with police. Officers responded with tear gas, rubber bullets, and flashbangs. Protesters were seen hurling chunks of concrete, rocks, fireworks, even electric scooters at California Highway Patrol units. Newsom told MSNBC last night that he will announce a lawsuit against the administration today. Meanwhile, border czar Tom Homan is doubling down, warning that Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass could be arrested if they interfere. The LAPD says at least 56 people are now under arrest. Protests are also flaring up in San Francisco, where police arrested 60 people, including juveniles near the immigration building. And in Pasadena, demonstrations continue there this morning. In the Middle East, Greta Thunberg and other prominent activists are now in Israeli custody, brought to shore this morning after Israeli forces intercepted their aid boat overnight. The climate activists and several others were aboard the Madeleine, a civilian ship trying to reach Gaza with food, baby formula, and medical supplies. But just before dawn, the Israeli military moved in, boarding the vessel in international waters. Video posted by Israel's foreign ministry shows the activists wearing life vests, being handed sandwiches and bottled water. Israel is calling it a publicity stunt. The activists say it was a peaceful mission and accuse Israel of violating international law. The boat had been at sea for a week after launching from Sicily. Israel says the aid that was on board will be routed to Gaza through established channels. But critics warn the overall flow of aid into Gaza remains dangerously low and nowhere near enough to prevent famine. New this morning, Ukraine says Russia launched 479 drones overnight, the largest attack of the war so far. The Air Force says 20 missiles were fired at targets across the country, including the capital, Kyiv. Most of the barrage focused on central and western Ukraine. Ukraine claims it shot down 277 drones and 19 missiles, with only about 10 hitting their targets. Despite the escalation, President Zelensky told ABC News on Sunday that Ukraine is ready for a U.S. brokered ceasefire, saying only hard pressure from President Trump will force Vladimir Putin to act pragmatically. Meanwhile, Russia says its troops are advancing, potentially opening up a new front in east-central Ukraine. In the northeast, Russian units appear to be closing in on Sumy. Moscow says it has retaken the village of Loknia, an area Ukraine had freed in its 2022 spring counteroffensive. This comes as a planned prisoner swap fell through over the weekend. Russia accuses Ukraine of stalling and delaying the return of 12,000 fallen soldiers. Ukraine denies those claims. Top American officials are in London today, kicking off a second round of high-stakes trade talks with China. The goal? Cement a truce between the world's two biggest economies. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick are leading the American side, joined by China's top economic official, He Lifeng. The talks come as the Trump administration faces growing pressure here at home. Tariffs on Chinese goods were recently ruled illegal by a U.S. trade court, even as factories here and in Europe scramble to replace critical rare earth supplies, now restricted by Beijing. The meetings are expected to stretch into Tuesday. A new week and a new travel ban. Starting today, the Trump administration is enforcing fresh restrictions on travelers from a dozen countries, most of them in Africa and the Middle East. The new ban means the State Department will likely block visa applications from countries including Afghanistan, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, along with tighter entry restrictions for citizens from places like Cuba and Venezuela. Those who already have a valid visa should still be able to enter the United States. The ban does not cancel previously issued visas. But immigration experts say this version is more carefully crafted than President Trump's first travel ban, which targeted Muslim-majority nations and was struck down by the courts. This time, the administration is leaning on a Homeland Security report that claims certain countries have high rates of visa overstays. Finally this morning, this year's Tony Awards are in the books, and it was definitely a happy ending for one show in particular. The Android rom-com, Maybe Happy Ending, led the charge, claiming 6 Tonys, including Best Musical. Its star, Darren Criss, picked up the award for Best Leading Actor. The revival of Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Sunset Boulevard, also winning big. Its star, former Pussycat doll Nicole Scherzinger, winning Best Actress in a leading musical role. Meanwhile, the Pulitzer Prize-winning drama Purpose won Best Play, marking back-to-back wins for its playwright Brandon Jacobs Jenkins. His play Appropriate won Best Revival last year. Jacobs Jenkins is the first black playwright to win the Best Play category since 1987. Looks like a good time was had by all. Those are your Unbiased Updates for this Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great day.